Just want to check in. This is what happened. Tom is going to do some research about this, and we decided that as a group, we're all going to pray a decade of the rosary, or, I don't know, whatever. So you want to fill them in, look forward to seeing you next week, that kind of thing. So have a relationship with them, give them a call. Evaluate your evening. How did it go? I recommend that you keep a little journal. Spend some time in prayer after everyone's gone home. You're probably still going to be a little wound up. Sit quietly and just make some notes. Do a little self-introspection. Gosh, that was really hard. I just wanted to fill all the time with talking. I had a hard time with silence. Or, gosh, I have 5 shy people. What am I going to do? That kind of thing. So give some thought to how it went. Maybe I need to create a little more silence after Scripture or whatever. You get the idea. So evaluate, and then you make your plan. If you did have a shy person, this is the time you want to call them to say, next week, give them a heads up. Don't, if someone's an introvert, you don't want them to come in here, okay, would you do the reading and would you keep time and would you, you don't want to kind of throw something at them like that. But maybe you want to call them and say, just checking in and, boy, that was really fun and looking forward to next week. I was wondering if you would mind doing the reading for us. And this way they'll tell you. You don't know. Maybe they're a stutterer or something and reading is really hard for them. Again, you don't want to just throw that on them right there. So you want to give them some time. Or maybe help me keep time, or you get the idea, right? So you make a plan. And of course, you have to, by planning, that also means you're reading up next week's session. Look at those faith-sharing questions, especially as the weeks unfold and you get to know your group better. You can tweak those questions. You kind of know how your group likes to share. Feel free to just change those questions up. Your group, even when you're together, that may just happen spontaneously, but as the leader, you can do that also. Follow up. So if Tom did say he was going to do that research on that question, don't wait until the day of that night and he comes in. Now he's feeling really badly because he didn't have time to do it, or he just doesn't come because he didn't do it. So call him during the week. Hey, Tom, how are you making out? We talked about maybe doing some research on Catholic social teaching or, the catechism, what the catechism has to say about this or that. Oh, gosh, I haven't had a chance to do that yet. Well, don't worry about it, We'll bring it to the group. Now you're the leader, so you're taking Tom off the hook a little bit, and maybe you do it the following week, or you need to follow up yourself and get that information. As a facilitator, that's one of your roles. Okay? And then network. You've got really lots of people in your parish that are in this role with you. You have your parish coordinator. You have Terry available to you, and you have me. I have my business card here. If you want to talk about how things are going, you want to share something, find each other. Give each other a call. This is not to, doesn't become like gossip hour. Oh, I've got 5 dominators and 2 shy people. It's not like that. It's more like, wow, how's that action step going? Is your group, able to discern how to move forward with action steps, that kind of thing. But you have a built-in network right here. We all want our groups to go well, and I know that they will. I will tell you, I believe you have everything you need to lead these groups, or you wouldn't be sitting here tonight. I really believe that with my heart. So just share and be united on this. So I want to take a look at the timeline. You do have a handout timeline, and I want to just go over it quickly with you. And then we'll be wrapping it up. So September 13th, 14th was a suggested sign-up Sunday weekend. Did you all already have your sign-up Sunday? Yes. Great. Anybody having 2 weekends of sign-up? You did. Okay, good. Sometimes groups decide to do that. I think it's a nice thing to do. You don't have to. You leave those, even if you just leave the cards in the pew and people want to go home and think about it and have that available to them another week to sign up. Prayer commitment weekend, it's important to, of course, it has your pastor then engaged, or your deacons, whoever's, celebrating Mass, to be able to talk about Arise and to say, let's commit as a parish community to praying for the Arise process in our parish. Again, because we're connected to the parish community, we want everybody to understand that this is something that we're doing as a parish community. October 5th is the 27th Sunday of Ordinary Time, so that's when we suggest you start. If that doesn't work for you, you can tweak it a week either way. We want to be done by Thanksgiving. I say we. I think everybody wants to be done before Thanksgiving week. It's a travel time and a busy time. So that's the thought with this. During Advent, we ask you to celebrate and evaluate. And I will be sending you a SurveyMonkey link. If you're familiar with that online, it's a very easy way to do a survey. I will actually send you the questions, though, ahead of time with the link, so you have time to look at the questions, gather your thoughts. When you meet together to celebrate your season as a parish with your groups, you can you can gather that information and be ready to submit it online. It's actually just the parish coordinator. The parish coordinator is going to be the one who does that survey. But you're going to gather together as leaders and share with her or him what's been happening in your groups, okay? January, I will be back. January, February, we're going to set those dates while I'm here this week, and we'll get those dates out to you. Every time I'm here, the workshop will be different. We'll do another facilitation skill, and we'll talk about the upcoming season in terms of content, theology, and that kind of thing. So please come. And I always say, if you have people in your groups that are really curious, want to come, please bring them. It's not a closed thing. They're welcome to come. There may be somebody who's thinking about becoming a leader, and they just, want to see what it's all about. So feel free to bring your community members too. January 24th, 25th, some people like to have the whole, first year laid out. That's the sign-up Sunday. February 7th, prayer commitment. February 15th is the week of Lent. That's the Sunday before Lent, so that'll be the week that we'll start season 2. All right? Okay. Next steps. You're going to be praying, of course. We want you to register on the Renew website. That will, and many of you have. I've been sort of looking at that, but if you haven't, I urge you to do that. Each parish has a parish code. Your coordinator should have that, and or your pastor, but certainly go to your coordinator for that code. You do need it in order to register, and that will give you access to the Arise library, member pricing. You'll receive information from me, information from Renew. It's really important to register. So I urge you to do that. And as leaders, please have your participants register. So as leaders, that's one of your roles or responsibilities, is to get people registered. Okay? Okay, the Sowing Seeds webinar, we already talked about that. And then calling each member before the first session, and be sure that they register too. And then, did you want Deacon Tom to share about the, I'll let you tell him on this.
Thanks.
Yeah.
One of the things that when we started to research how in the world are we going to keep track of all of our parishioners and how are their get these small groups, divided up, I did a little bit of research on my own and found that among the Bible church communities, there really is a trend on making sure that every member of a Bible church is part of a small group. And one of the leaders of a Bible church movement created a software program, a cloud program called churchteams.com. So we're using that cloud-based software, churchteams.com, to manage all of our people in our parish. We're 380 families, and we have 100 and how many signed up? 115
Wow.
signed up.
That's great.
And we're managing it through that. Now, the other thing that allows you to do as small group leaders is to communicate with your people within your small group, to take attendance from time to time, and it allows the parish to get a feel for how this is catching on within the parish itself. So if you're interested about that, shoot me an email over at nativityslow.org. I'm Tom at nativityslow.org, and I can let you know how to get involved with that. They have agreed to waive the setup fees for any of the parishes in the Diocese of Monterey. We paid the setup fee ourselves, and they're going to waive it for everybody else. So just let me know if you're interested in that.
That's great. Thank you, Deacon Tom. That's really great, a great resource for everybody. So, you can call him or Terry and get some more information about that. Okay, so we're going to close. There are two more handouts I just want to point you to. This Jesus historical portrait. This is what I referred to at the very beginning, that we are going to be looking at who Jesus was as a historical figure, as told by the four evangelists and Paul during season 1. And so it's important to understand that there's a historical context within which each of the writers wrote. Why did they write the way they did? Why did they portray Jesus as they did? What was the community to whom they were speaking? So to understand all that. But that's the historical Jesus. That's different than the risen Christ, yeah? So, but it's important to sort of look at all of that as we learn more about who Jesus was and who he is today for us. So that's how you'll be doing season 1. This can be reproduced and shared with your group members. So it's Father Daniel Harrington, so a very well-known theologian. It's really a nice piece. So I urge you to take a look at that. All right, here's the phone numbers that I promised you. Terry, be sure did I get the right phone number there, Terry?